The following is brought to you by the People's National Party.
Make the trumpets play. Jamaican people want better. Economy coming like stormy weather. Ancestors are turning on them grave. To get champion, we can do it together. When we look at the future of precipice, we see Jamaica needs the vision of the PNP. People said the bag of promises, them can't carry go shop. And the crime rate getting higher, wonder when it does stop comrades. Jamaican people want better. Economy coming like stormy weather. Ancestors are turning on them grave. To get champion.
The proceeding was brought to you by the People's National Party.
Eternal Father, bless, guide us with thy mighty hand. Keep us free from evil powers. Be our light through comfort. To our leaders, great defenders, justice, truth be forever. Jamaica, land we love. Jamaica, Jamaica, land we love. Teach us true respect for all. Strengthen us the weak. Give us wisdom lest we perish.
The following is a public service announcement.
The Diaspora Crime Intervention and Prevention Task Force and One Jamaica Legal Defense Foundation invite Jamaican patriots and friends in the tri-state area to the second staging of a call to action. Meet us on Friday, May 10th, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Jamaica's Consulate, located at 300 East 42nd Street, corner 2nd Avenue in Manhattan. That's a call to action for Jamaicans and friends of Jamaica who are seeking the best solutions for Jamaica. May 10th at 9 a.m. at the Jamaican Consulate at 42nd Street and 2nd Avenue. Listen to Reason with Radigan Saturdays at 3 p.m. on Reggae Global Radio and YouTube for updates.
Hello and welcome. Happy Tuesday to everyone. Hope everyone is having a wonderful and productive week so far. Please guys, remember when you come in to thumbs up the live, share us out if you can, and if you're new to the channel, please show us some support by subscribing. So welcome to everyone in television land, welcome to our silent supporters, and welcome to those in the chat. Thank you so much for tuning in. Really appreciate each and every one. Tonight's topic is going to be corruption known bounds with your host Baron and Anne-Marie. So let me just go ahead and welcome those in the chat. Donmel Blessings, welcome. Universal, Truck Life, the Isaacs family, Loris Bedford, Sonia Ellis, Charmaine Flowers, Cynthia B., our channel member, Rowena Williams, Juliet Gooden Mills, Judith Livermore, SG, Janet Jones, Marva Mills, Candymax, Vivian Hamilton, Stanford Barnes. Welcome. Happy Tuesday. Blessings to each and every one. Also, Rennie Swaby, Dawn62, welcome. Before I hand over to Baron, let me just remind you guys about the demonstration that is going to be on May 10th, 2024 between 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Jamaican Consulate located at 300 East 42nd Street in New York. So make sure those who are able to go, please go out and support. If you're not able to physically be there, please support it virtually online because the numbers are really needed. Linden Green, welcome. Sunshine, welcome. And also, guys, remember to support the One Legal Jamaica Foundation. It is very important. Every little that you can give counts. Every mickle make a muckle. So, guys, please go over to Ratigan and onto the website as well and support. It is very important. Okay, so that's how we're gonna be able to get some accountability with certain things. So remember, guys, just make sure you go and support the One Legal Jamaica Foundation, right? So Ithelin Fairweather, Patel Cruikshank, Elga Fletcher, Abina Sarkodi, welcome. Okay, Baron, over to you.
All right. Thank you, Wifey, for that usual precursor there. I really appreciate that. I want to say a big thanks to all of our subscribers, right, who just joined us, and those subscribers who had been struggling with us from day one. I want to say a big thanks, right, for everyone who have been endorsing us. And we really appreciate that. Now, today, Tuesday, right? We come a little bit different on a Tuesday. However, tonight I want to say to Jamaica that we have some dark clouds ahead. Let me say this. Here we are, right, in the final stretch of, anticipating a general election. And we are now seeing, and let me say this, that when it comes to the Jamaica Labour Party, what we are seeing, right, is really a dark cloud over the Jamaica Labour Party. Now we have 49 members of the Jamaica Labour Party who represented us in Parliament. As a result of corruption, it has reduced to 48, which is the removal of Dalrymple. Now here we are, right, for the Jamaica Labour Party, right, who was preparing for general election, seems to, for some members, let me say this, right, that for some members of the Jamaica Labour Party, it would be more so that they are preparing for the general penitentiary as opposed to preparing for general election. Yes, you hear me right. For some members of Parliament, let me say this, right? It seems like you will be preparing for the general penitentiary as opposed to the general election. I know why I am saying this. Now, we have seen that the Integrity Commission investigators are in no playing mood, right? And we have seen that the Integrity Commission is stepping on the gas. So while the Jamaica Labour Party can be having time worrying about the diaspora, right? Because we know that we are the organic diaspora. They need to worry about what is coming. Now, I am going to get into the mood of what I am saying because when Mystic Sensation presenting, right, his information, we do it in a particular way where facts matters, right? And where we have done our research. And so then the first clip I want to play tonight is a warning from Mark Golden. We have a wide range of issues that we are going to touch tonight, right? Including permanent secretary protection of Andrew Holness, NHT, corruption in the water tank delivery, Mark Golden policy position, and GLP distractions. But what we are going to touch now, we are going to touch information from the Integrity Commission. But before we do that, we are going to begin with Mark Golden sending a message to Andrew Holness. And Andrew Holness, you need to take this message extremely serious, sir. So, wifey, without any delay, let us get into the spec of the things, because of course our subscribers want to see what we have here up our sleeves. So then let us pull the first thing from the Jamaica Gleaner, where Mark Golden is asking the Prime Minister to step aside, and rightly so, that if you found yourself in a situation that is questionable, we need to tell you that you need to take away yourself, right? Step aside. Opposition leader calls for Prime Minister to vacate post after IC's non-certification of statutory declarations for second year running, and the possibility of the third year, right? Published Tuesday, October 24, 2023. Opposition leader Mark Golden says the Integrity Commission IC inability to certify Prime Minister Andrew Holness statutory declarations for a second straight year does not bode well for Jamaica's image, and has called for him to step aside, and rightly so, sir. It is not a good look, Jamaica, when we have a Prime Minister for years in succession who can't have his statutory declaration certified by the Integrity Commission. It's not a good look, argued Golden, which, of course, I do agree, and I know that Jamaican people agree as well. He was speaking in St. Mary on Sunday during a People's National Party political meeting where he presented the party's slate of candidates for the next local government and general elections in due 2024 and 2025 respectively, which the local government election that was due in 2024. We know that how that went. PNP is the successor for that, and now we are proceeding towards 2025, right? General election. The Jamaica Labour Party manifesto in 2016 said they were going to introduce terms limit. Well, I say to the Prime Minister, live your word. The situation is not looking so good. Term limit sounds like a good idea in your case. Step aside. Give somebody else a chance. The people want a government of integrity, the PNP president said, and we endorse what the People's National Party president stated there, that if you found yourself in questionable situation, particularly where your integrity, your statutory declaration cannot be certified for what reason or the other, then you should step aside. Jamaica House has remained tight-lipped about only statutory declarations which have not been certified since 2020. This is a very serious situation that hangs over the Prime Minister's head. It is law for both the Prime Minister and the opposition leaders' filings to be gazetted and published. It is an established law. The IC has repeatedly said that it was not in a position to certify only statutory declaration, but has remained mum on the reason. There's a fundamental reason why the IC cannot certify as a result of your income, liability, right, and your expenses. What you are presenting, sir, what you are presenting, Mr. Owners, right, cannot be clarified as it relates to your achievement where your wealth is concerned. The truth about the matter today, we look at you and we see where your worth is in the billions of dollars as opposed to what you are trying to make Jamaican people believe, that you are only $165 million. That is far away from the truth, which you know. Most recently, the Commission told the Gleaner that it was unable to make any comment regarding same, except to say that it is and has been operating in compliance with the previous provisions of Section 42, subsection 3 of the Integrity Commission Act. That section speaks to how the filings of both leaders are to be treated in terms of certification, gazette, and publishing. Earlier this year, the Prime Minister expressed concern over the non-gazetting of his 2021 declarations and said then that he was in the dark as to what was preventing the Commission from publishing the document. Yes, Mr. Prime Minister, you are so disingenuous. You are so disingenuous to say that you are in the dark. It is a simple thing for you to understand that what you are presenting, what you are declaring, your wealth is way above that. So then don't try to fool the Jamaican people. He has not publicly commented on the non-publication of the 2022 filings. Integrity watchdogs have said the non-gazetting of honest statutory declaration summary for the second year running must be a matter of major concern to the public, as well as of special interest to the head of government. Meanwhile, Golding, who along with the opposition members of Parliament, MP, declared that none of them is under investigation by the IC for illicit enrichment, insisted that the Prime Minister was aware of the 6 legislators who are being investigated and challenged him to name them. In its 2022 annual report, the IC said the Commission must ensure that there is no illicit enrichment prior to certifying a statutory declaration. Holness has indicated that he has inquired far and wide of government MPs, and so far no one has said they are being investigated for illicit enrichment. Sir, you continue with your disingenuity. We want to know who are the 6 members of Parliament who are under investigation of illicit enrichment. Don't hide it. Tell Andrew Holness. I know you know who they are, Golden said, to rousing applause from party supporters. And indeed, yes, he knows who they are. Take it away, wife. My Jamaican people, I want to speak to you that the next document that I am going to present is not looking good as it relates to our Prime Minister. Not looking good as it relates to our country. To know that we have a Prime Minister and we have 6 members of Parliament who are in a total dilemma, who are in an abyss of corruption. And so then, the Integrity Commission pushing forward. So today, the Integrity Commission had 5 reports sent to Parliament. And so now we will anticipate how Juliet Onus is going to treat those reports. Let us read in terms of what the Integrity Commission is doing to say that, look, we have completed investigation on these 5 reports. They have sent to the corruption prosecutor, and the corruption prosecutor made her decision and sent it to the Parliament for it to be tabled. Now, Juliet, let me warn you. Let me warn you, Juliet, that there should not be any form of hanky-panky, any form of delaying strategy, right? In terms of tabling those reports. We will be watching you, Juliet, in terms of the expediency that you are going to use as according to standard, as according to law, for the report to be tabled. Let us show the people what the Integrity Commission had put out there. Without any further delay on it, let us bring up this Integrity Commission.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. You're sharp tonight. Okay, can we get that 200% so that they can see that?
It's difficult to do it there unless you want me to put it in another window. Let me put it in another window.
Okay, all right. We're going to put it into another window because we want people to see that.
To do that. 1 sec, guys. Let me see if I can get it because the print is.
The print is fine. We want people to see what has been written there.
Okay, there.
Okay, good. You see, what the technical operator is but tonight. I love that. Okay, so here is the document as it relates to what the Integrity Commission released for immediate release. The Integrity Commission is stepping on the gas, not playing at all. Integrity Commission submits 5 investigation reports and Director of Corruption Prosecutions indicative rulings to Parliament for tabling. April 16, 2024, in keeping with its previously made commitment, the Integrity Commission wishes to notify the public that it has today submitted to Parliament 5 reports of investigation together with associated indicative ruling from the Commission's Director of Corruption Prosecution, Papa Jesus. This one you know look good. Dark cloud over the Jamaica Labour Party. This no look good. The documents were formally received and signed for at the Parliament at 11:22 this morning. Hard copies of the reference investigation reports were submitted in separate envelopes on the cover of identical letters addressed to the following officials. 1. The Most Honorable Juliet Onus, MP, Speaker of the House of Representatives. Number 2. Senate of the Honorable Tom Tavares Finson, OJ, CD, KC, JPR, Sata P, President of the Senate. Number 3, Miss Colleen Lowe, Clerk to the House of Parliament. Bangarang over here, so. The indicative rulings were also similarly addressed and submitted in separate envelopes. A USB flash drive with PDF electronic copies of all documentation submitted was also conveyed. What you mean? Make sure someone put them on a storage device, put it in all forms, because we know the GLP You understand? When them come with them propaganda and them lie. So we make sure, say, guess what? Integrity Commission make sure, say, them spread it out everywhere them can disseminate using all the necessary tools. The Integrity Commission anticipate that its investigation reports, which were submitted pursuant to and in conformance with Section 54 of the Integrity Commission Act, together with the associate indicative rulings, will be tabled in both houses of Parliament as soon as possible. Section 54, subsection 4 of the Integrity Commission Act provides that where the report from the Director of Investigation to the Commission as a recommendation under subsection 3, the Commission shall submit it to Parliament for tabling. Take that away. Take that away. Take that away. Take that away. So then,
process.
now people, Jamaican people, it no look good. It no look good. Bangarang. Now people make it talk. HMHC under forensic audit. But only, you know, like say every single jack soul in their arm of problem with their finger. It look like every single one of them have problem with them finger.
Fingersmith, the finger.
We call them fingersmith.
Yeah, little fingers.
Bangarang this. Sintabi, Byron, you are on point. I remembered one of your mentioned that it was your opinion that the IC is purposely hold some of these reports just to see, right? The lighter ones would be, hey, Cynthia B, I'm glad, oh, you are following me. Cynthia B, I'm glad, oh, you are following me and you are noting what I have said. And it appears as if the Integrity Commission is following my strategy. Because we are quite strategical. We are politically inclined and politically strategical. And so then, of course, it seems like the Integrity Commission is following as it relates to my footprint in terms of what I say I would do if I was the Integrity Commission. And rightly so. Seems like that is what is happening. Dark days for the Jamaica Labour Party. Dark days for the Jamaica Labour Party. Now, let me show you. And I'm going to expose something to the Jamaican people in the diaspora and locally as it relates to, right, checks and balance, accountability, integrity, and most of all, we realize that this government is suppressing information from us. Now just imagine that Andrew Honest in 2015 said it is incumbent on each Jamaican citizen that if he or she, right, observe where the government, right, is in questionable circumstances, he or she should speak out. Should speak out. Andrew Honest stated this. And so then, this is why we are here speaking out on the advice of the Prime Minister. Now, it is undemocratic when we see a Prime Minister moving towards being a dictator. We have seen that the Integrity Commission Act, Section 53, subsection 3, has to deal with the muzzle clause as it relates to Integrity Commission investigators investigating, right, should be silent, cannot speak on the investigation. Muzzling clause. And so then we see the Prime Minister making the extra effort in doing that. Now, we have realized that there is a particular case that went into the judiciary, which is Rural Reid, the then Minister of Education. And people, Rural Reid supposed to go back to court January the 12th, I believe, 2024. And no one been hearing anything about that particular case. So I'm asking for some clarity, right? Whether the opposition leader can, trust himself in terms of try to find out what is going on with the case as it relates to Rural Reid. The people of Jamaica want to know what is happening with that case, as opposed to the public not knowing anything, as if they don't have a right to know. We have a right to know. And so then let me put up the case. Let me put up the information to show people that indeed Rural Reid has a case for January 2024, and everything being silent. What is going on? So we are asking the relevant people to get on top of this so that we can be informed. Now, the commission must be empowered to publicize their findings when the speaker is hiding it. I definitely agree with that, Lyndon Green. So let us go to the next document, Jamaica Loop. Read Pinnock too. All right. So we want to find out what is going on. I mean, Rural Reid supposed to go back to court, right? January. And we are not hearing anything. Like, seriously? It cannot be serious. Okay. Here it is, people. Here it is. Reid Pinnock to return to court January 12th, right? Now, here it is. The long-running multi-million-dollar fraud and corruption case involving former Education Minister Rural Reid and his 4 co-accused is set for mention in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court on January 12, 2024. There it is, people. There it is. The date was set last Friday when Reid, former Caribbean Maritime University, President Fritz Pinnock, Reid White Sharon, daughter Shariel, and the Jamaica Labour Party councillor for the Brownstown Division, Kim Brown Lawrence, appeared in court. The 5 are facing several charges brought by the Financial Investigation Division in relation to more than $50 million that was allegedly diverted from the CMU. The charges include breaches of the Corruption Prevention Act, conspiracy to defraud, misconduct in a public office at common law, and breaches of the Proceeds of Crime Act. The accused were picked up in a series of dramatic early morning raids at their various homes in several parishes 4 years ago in October 2019. But the case has dragged on. Why the case has been dragging on? In large part due to a series of motions filed by the attorneys representing Reid and Pinnock for the case to be either dismissed or for a judge to recuse himself. When the case was called up on Friday, Lawrence was assigned a legal aid attorney and disclosure was ordered. The January 12th mentioned date was subsequently set for the parties to determine the way forward. Take it away, people. Take it away, wifey. So then, now, I want to know why that we are not hearing anything about that case. Now, people, let us leave that alone. Now, I am going to correct a gentleman behavior. Because this gentleman seems to be unlearned. And Jamaica Labour Party like to use these people who are unlearned, right? Somehow, right? Have them spreading propaganda and all of that. And so then tonight I'm going to play this clip for people to hear him. And then I am going to correct this person because this person really unlearned. And here he is using reverse psychology to say that he's neither PNP nor JLP. That is the way how they started. You know? That is the way how they started. I am not PNP, I am not JLP, because they want now to grab the attention of the listeners to say, okay, all right, this person is neutral. So what he's saying is he's talking the truth because he's a neutral person. Reverse psychology, right? He's a full JLP. So people, without any further ado, listen to this person. Yeah.
So right now, the truth is the truth. And everybody should know the truth by now. This is the first Prime Minister out of Jamaica. I am not Labourite, I am not PMP. I'm just talking what I've seen and what I've heard. You know, this is the best Prime Minister that looks like he's helping Jamaica to be a better future. Because think about it. PMP was in power for 18 years. They was doing nothing. They vote out PMP. The same PMP people them turn to Labourite and vote Labourite in and put Labourite in power. So if for 18 years PMP in power and they never do anything for Jamaica, why you guys should trust them again to put them in power, right? This Prime Minister Andrew Holness that on put in power, I've seen the work that he's done. And he's still doing it. He take Jamaica from 0 to 10. So this is a Prime Minister where in a power Andrew Holness, he should get 10 out of 10 for the hard work that he's put in and still put in. As he build houses, give people, he build roads, he build bridges. Even like a old lady, she said over 60 odd years, when the river come down around the junction, she cannot go home because there's nowhere for her to walk. And she asked Andrew Holness to build her a bridge. Andrew Holness build her a bridge. You know, so let me tell you something. There's some dieted PMP and some dieted Labourite, and that's what is happening now. You see, the dieted PMP, they will not change because them have themselves in that zone that they now come out of. So no care how Jamaica is getting better and building better, right? In every household right now, you know, someone is traveling to the farm work program, man and woman, right? But let me tell you again, you know, the dieted PMP them must stop fool up the people them and tell the younger generation that this is a better Jamaica right now. You know, the dieted PMP them don't care how much.
It's finished.
Okay, let us take that away. Right? And we are going to give this gentleman some education. Now, for persons who know this gentleman, right, and definitely oppose him, first he spoke about a bridge that Andrew Holness had built. Now, sir, if you are listening and watching, I am going to show the bridge to people, right, as it relates to the bridge that you are making reference to. And that bridge wasn't built by Andrew Holness. And this is the wicked lies that you people come on social media telling, right? Now, before we go any further, we are going to show the bridge that you're making reference to, sir. You understand? And show you that you're a vicious liar. Now, let us put up that bridge to show people that it has nothing to do with Andrew Holness. You understand? And yet, this man on social media, spewing venomous lies. Now let us show the bridge. All right, so we're going to show the people the bridge that he spoke about.
One, guys, let me just find it here. Let me see which one again. Okay.
Let us show the bridge that this gentleman is speaking about, making reference about. Now, people, here it is. So bring it up big so the people can see it. To show you how vindictive these people are. Right? Yeah, let's bring it up to 200%.
That's not it. Hold on, because it came back to that.
Oh.
One sec, guys, because it's coming up in Twitter. I did switch it over there. Let me just see if it's been shared like that. No.
Okay, so we are going to share it.
I'm going to share it in another.
So let us show this bridge, right? The lies that these people continue to tell.
Let's see now. There.
Right? So, gentlemen, and it is going to mention here, right? Now, look at this. The makeshift wooden structure created by a resident at the Woodsville Bridge in Hanover. Brian Miller, there it is. The makeshift wooden structure created by a resident at the Woodsville Bridge in Hanover. It has nothing to do with Andrew Holness making bridge, and this is the type of bridge that you satisfied. You understand, as it relates to people who may build it. Andrew Holness did not do anything. The feeling that they are in a world all by themselves with no one caring about their well-being is common among the residents of the Woodsville in deep rural Hanover, faced with the harsh realities of daily community life. Right? Apart from bad road conditions, some sections of which are completely devoid of asphalt and overgrown with thick shrubs, their latest dilemma is last year's collapse of the main Woodsville Bridge. The bridge, which spans the Cabarito River, is a major link between Woodsville and Westmoreland, the nearest economic and commercial center, as well as other sections of Hanover. According to the National Work Agency, it may be up to 4 years. So when you come out and run your mouth with peer lie, up to 4 years before it can be replaced. But the residents say they can't wait that long and are urging the relevant authorities to make erecting a new bridge a top priority. The bridge first began to show major signs of structural compromise in April 2022. This is in Andrew Holness-led government. Following a bout of heavy rain in the area, it eventually collapsed in April 2023. For 2 weeks, life came to a standstill in the community, the residents said, so they had no choice but to erect a makeshift bridge. Without the bridge, we are virtually crippled. We thought about how we would continue and with our daily life routine, how working people are going to get to and from work. Andrew Holness no care. How the farmers are going to get their crops to market. Andrew Holness no care. How the sick will reach doctor or hospital. Andrew Holness no care. So, lad, when I talk of Andrew Holness, here is the evidence. How needed goods and services are going to get into the community. And our only conclusion was that we had to get that bridge back up. Right? One resident told the Sunday Gleaner on a recent visit to the community, there are several children in Woodsville who attend schools in Savlamar and other Westmoreland communities, and some attending schools in Lucy, Hanover, or even Montego Bay, St. James. He stressed, no one cares about us. No one cares about us, right? Rural people, right? 30 bridges. Here it is. When you come out and run off your mouth, and I tell peer lie on social media, 30 bridges on the list following the collapse, the NWA, right, and the Hanover Municipal Corporation argued over whose responsibility it was to replace the structure. Both agencies ordered that the section of the roadway closed, but the residents constructed a wooden bridge across the river to resume their daily routines. That now have nothing to do with Andrew Holness, lad. Now, let me show you something. Yeah, take it away. I am going to show you other bridges, right, that are of serious concern that Andrew Holness been sabotaging. So when you run out and you talk about how PNP dieted and PNP this, you understand, and you are neutral, right, and you, right, in between, you're not partisan, and yet fooling your mouth with lies, you understand, to the fact that you're unlearned. Now let me show you. So while you're watching me, let me show you another bridge that Andrew Holness using politics to the fact that you have a PNP shadow minister there, right? He's sabotaging. So let us show you the evidence, you understand, and the rumor that you spread, right? Let us go to collapse bridge. Search 100 of reason to come on. Collapse short bridge. Yeah. Let us show you the evidence, sir. Right? When you're running out with lies, spewing lies all over social media.
Some men with some money and power, you know, like even the Prime Minister himself, we're asking him if he could do something for us, you know, because we don't want to go block the road. We're on practically the borderline between Manchester and Trelawney. The bridge is what separates Manchester from Trelawney.
What's the name of the bridge?
I don't exactly know, you know, but it's a very old bridge, and it was built in 1830 something, and it never even have steel in it, so it wasn't really built to carry trucks and cars. It was, in those, it was horse and buggies. You understand? So the other day it broke down about 3 months ago, right? About 3 months ago now it broke down. More than 3 months, and our biggest concern, you have a lot of people who are hampered by this.
You say it's breakdown. Tell me what happened to it.
Well, it's just collapsed. A lucky thing no one was on it, you know, right after a big truck passed over.
Water.
Yeah, water been soaking underneath the foundation. So
dig it foot at the bridge out.
And it wasn't built with any steel or nothing like that. You understand? So I'm mostly concerned about like the people who have to go to work. There's teachers, students, there's 3 schools out there, what I tried, primary, basic school and high school, you know. So the students, them are, you know, they are very fearful of crossing. Their parents won't allow them. So, and then you have a lot of people going to the market even early in the morning, and sometimes the river is coming down. You understand? And you still have to cross. Right now, there's only some debris that the river carried down that the people have used for crossover, like a tree branch and some bamboo. It's very dangerous.
That is what people are using to cross.
Yes, bamboo and a little tree branch.
So what happens when the river comes down?
Well, when it comes down, we have to ease back a bit. Those who get trapped in Troy have to sleep over there. You know, and those who want to go there have to stay over here. You know. So
are there any other routes to the community?
No. If you want to, the other route is just Mile Gully, which is a lot of ways, a lot of miles. You know, Mile Gully, and then you have to go Craig, and then so it's a big.
Christmas is days away.
Yeah.
How does the breakdown of the bridge, will it affect the utilization?
Oh yes, it affects us a lot, because even when we have funerals and all that, if we want to bury over there, we can. You know, so it's a big problem right now. The taxi services are hampered by this. You know, so a lot of people are finding it a little bit difficult. You know, but we're just praying and hoping that the government will do something as quickly as possible. You know, because it's like a school season is coming back in, right? So that's one of the main things. Yeah.
Any work have started on it since?
We're only hearing rumors that they're probably going to start some temporary bridge in January, but that's just a bag of rumors. You know, we're not seeing nothing, no solid foundation put down, or no relevant, real officials come through. You know, just some, what you call them, MPs and things. You know, we need some men with some money and power. You know, like even the Prime Minister himself, we're asking him if he could do something for us, you know, because we don't want to go block the road. We're
So
not threatening nobody.
who is a member of parliament for the area?
Who's a member of parliament here again? Who's the member of parliament here? It's Mr. Peter Phillipson. I mean, I'm not a politician. You know, I don't vote for none of them, so I don't know him. But none of them seems to be doing anything solid, you know.
Okay. So let us be very serious as it relates to, you know, we challenging the facts. And when you have someone who, you know, came on social media and speaking pure lies, right? Knowing very well that these are lies, but yet putting these lies out there. So many bridges that needs to be fixed. And while you're on social media spreading the rumor, right, that the Prime Minister is doing this, the Prime Minister is doing that, it is the best Prime Minister. Sir, let me say this to you. Your best Prime Minister, right, has an illicit sex problem. Your best Prime Minister cannot explain his wealth. Your best Prime Minister, the best Prime Minister of Jamaica, is according to you. As according to you. Under the investigation of the Integrity Commission. So then let us back up. Let us back up a little bit and talk to you. Right? How many members of parliament under the People's National Party under investigation as it relates to the illicit enrichment? How many? How many of members of parliament? Since you're talking about 18 years of this and 18 years of that, which you are totally unlearned. Right? And so then here you have Andrew Holness-led government, right? Continue to be plagued with corruption. And here you on social media, it is the best Prime Minister. Totally ridiculous. Anthony Walker, this is what you call the time of reckoning is approaching very fast. The penny is about to drop. All right, thank you for that. Now, what we are going to go into, right? We are going to go into some investigation, right? And we are going to touch as it relates to the permanent secretary, right? And what I want to tell people, if you notice on the thumbnail, you see quid pro quo, right? And this is where you have persons who mix in corruption, right? Do things, right? In terms of the favor needs to be returned to them, right? Now, before I get into this, I am going to put up the responsibility of the permanent secretary, right? And show people the responsibility of what the permanent secretary needs to do. And then we are going to realize something, right? So let us get into the Jamaica Gleaner and put up the permanent secretary, right? And read as it relates to the accountability of the permanent secretary.
This one?
Yeah.
It's at 200.
Okay.
All right, it's sharing. There we go.
Now, the permanent secretaries and accountability. The matter of accountability by permanent secretary is once again an issue in our parliament and elsewhere. It is one to which I have given some thought and actually started some work on prior to the meeting office as cabinet secretary, head of the public service in May 2008. The minutes of the Permanent Secretary Board of February 11, 2007, relationship between the Permanent Secretaries, Ministries and Public Bodies, and of January 29, 2008 accountability framework. I, like several other Permanent Secretaries in my time, and I gather, no, this is not document that I need to read, the Cabinet Secretary.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, people, because I realized that it is the wrong information that we are reading.
Okay. Secretaries and accountability. This one.
Yes.
Sorry about that, guys.
Okay, sorry about that.
Was it at 200?
Mm-hmm.
There.
Okay. So the Cabinet Secretary, right? So this is the person under our microscope, the Honorable Audrey V. Sewell, OJ, CDJP. The Honorable Audrey V. Sewell became a Cabinet Secretary on 1st of August 2023. Ms. Sewell holds a MSc, Master's in Human Resource Development, and bachelor's degree, honors in Management Studies from the University of the West Indies. Additionally, she holds a certificate in Management Studies from UWI and an advanced certificate in Educational Administration and Leadership jointly from the Swedish Institute for National Development and the Vocational Development Institute, a graduate of the Chartwood Teachers College. Mr. Sewell also pursued studies in research methodology at the University of Michigan. A trained teacher by profession, having taught at several institutions at the secondary level, Mr. Sewell was instrumental in the launch of the Art Trust NTA in 1982. She subsequently assumed formal full-time employment with the aforementioned institute in April 1984. She served the Art Trust NTA in various capacities throughout the years, and lastly, as Director of Academies in 2004. Mr. Sewell later served, and I want people to listen to this paragraph. Mr. Sewell later served as Principal Director of Justice Ministry Justice Training Institute from 2004 to 2008. Under her leadership, the JTI was registered by the University of Council of Jamaica. Additionally, Mr. Sewell expanded the offerings provided by the JTI and positioned the organization as the Justice Training Hub within the Caribbean. Now, this is where it gets interesting. In 2008, Mr. Sewell was appointed Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education. In 2011, she was reassigned to the Ministry of Transport, Works and Housing, and in February 2016, Mr. Sewell was assigned to serve as a Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation later that year. She was also appointed to serve as a Permanent Secretary in the Office of the Prime Minister, performing both roles simultaneously. Let us look at the responsibility. The responsibility, the Cabinet Secretary is the most senior policy advisor in civil service. She's Secretary to the Cabinet, responsible to all ministers for the running of Cabinet, and is also the head of the civil service. As Secretary to the Cabinet, she provides support and advice to the government and oversees the provision of policy and secretariat support to Cabinet and Cabinet committees. She's also responsible for the organization of the minutes of the Cabinet and also conveys decision of the Cabinet. As head of the public service, she's responsible for developing highly professional public service, which is able to effectively execute government business. As head of the Permanent Secretary Board, she's responsible for guiding the execution of ministry plans, ensuring that they align with government priorities. Take that away. Now, Okay. So basically, where I'm going as it relates to 2008, right? She has been working with the Prime Minister from 2008. And then what seems to be happening, that the Prime Minister seems to be trotting along, right, with Ms. Sewell, right, through 2008 until now, Ms. Sewell becomes Cabinet Secretary. Now, the awarding of contract as it relates to Andrew Holness between the period 2007 to 2009, right? Some of those contracts, right, as it relates to Mrs. Sewell, have to handle most of the accounting procedures, would have realized certain breaches that would have made. And as a result of those breaches, right, she did not, look to monitor those situations and realize that there were breaches. And so, right, she has been promoted, right, as a result of looking to the left, notwithstanding, right, all those breaches. And so then provide a little cover, right, for the Prime Minister up until now. And so then we believe that, of course, there are some situations that they need to look into Ms. Sewell, right, as it relates to why her office, right, as it relates to administration procedures were not followed, and why Gavin, right, as it relates to the Prime Minister issuing several contracts, influencing several contracts, right, to Gavin, right, those breaches were not observed. And so then we have seen that. Now,
look at this. Everybody numbers dropping, she said.
Mistake, them reporting the live, the counts drop. This just happened to Andre live too. All wicked labor right, them fight the movement. Wow. Yes, what is going on?
Let's see what's happening on the other platforms.
Let me tell you something. We will never stop speaking out, right, on corruption. Right?
Let me just look.
And now we have seen that, yeah, some situations been affecting us. But you know what? I don't know what is happening. But Jamaica.
So YouTube having problems.
YouTube having problems?
Jamaica Hot Topic lose viewers to Andre numbers drop. Everybody's numbers dropping.
What is going on?
Going on?
Okay. All right. We are going to continue our voice. Whether we have one person or two person, right? We are going to continue. Let us, right? We're still going to disseminate the information out there, right? So no, regardless of what they are doing, we are still going to disseminate the information out there. Now, let us get into the NHT saga, right? Continues to be a sore on JLP. Now we have seen where the NHT budget leave from 2 million to now $21 million. Can you imagine, people? And yet there is no work taking place at the Cornwall Regional Hospital. This is crazy. No work taking place. So I want to show people what is going on. Let us get into the Gleaner. Battle over NHT funds begin in court. And let me show people something. Just imagine that the Jamaica Labour Party, as it relates to Andrew Holness, take the People's National Party to court during the People's National Party time to say that Portia Simpson has been taking money out of the NHT, and to him, it was not right. And what Portia did was to take money from the NHT to balance the budget, right? So let us look, right, and what he accused Portia Simpson of. We are going to get there tonight. We don't care about the number. Let us get into Jamaica Gleaner. Battle over NHT funds begins. Court case commence.
Okay.
Them could have fight till a week. Now,
let me just make sure it's sharing, because since they're having technical difficulties, I have to make sure.
okay, so here it is, people, right? Battle over NHT funds begin. Court case commence over PNP decision to extract 46 billion. This is under Portia Simpson time, you know, right? Published Tuesday, June 21, 2016. Now, watch this now. The Supreme Court is today expected to begin hearing a legal challenge to the decision of the Portia Simpson Miller administration 4 years ago to tap into the coffers of the National Housing Trust, NHT, 45.6 billion in budgetary support. Here it is, people, budgetary support to fill the gap that was in the budget. That is what the NHT money was taken out to do, right? Which was legal. Now, through an amendment to the NHT Act 3 years ago, the previous government got the green light to withdraw 11.4 billion from the trust annually, starting in 2013 and ending its financial year. And one of the reasons why Portia Simpson has to do that was to the fact that Bruce Golding, right, had run down the economy, crushed the Jamaica economy, right, and Portia Simpson, right, has to go back, right, and re-engage back the relationship with the IMF, right, after Bruce Golding, you understand, damaged the relationship with the IMF. The IMF spoke of this. So we have the evidence. However, self-employed St. James businessman Fitzroy Fagan, through his attorney, has asked the court to declare the National Housing Trust Amendment Special Provisions Act 2013 void. Fagan, who claims in court documents that he has contributed to the NHT for 22 years without receiving a benefit, also wants the court to find that the multi-billion-dollar withdrawal constitutes a deprivation of his property that is in breach of the Constitution. The second defendant, NHT, is holding the contribution of the claimant and other contributors on the trust. Those contributions represent the private property of the contributors. It is a breach of trust for the board of directors of the second defendant to hand over the funds and trust to the third defendant, the Minister of Finance, Fagan, claimed in court documents obtained by the Gleaner. A victory for Fagan, one attorney at law, told the Gleaner yesterday, could mean that the government would have to reimburse the NHT 45.6 billion. They would have to pay back the money the attorney suggested. Simpson Miller and Dr. Peter Phillips, right, the then finance minister, used a national broadcast in February 2013 to announce the government decision to tap into the NHT coffers for budgetary support. The government, in taking the matter to Parliament for approval, said the drawdown on the NHT funds was necessary in order to allow the country to meet certain physical targets under a 4-year extended fund facility with the International Monetary Fund. There it is, people. The announcement drew public outcry from a wide cross-section of the society, including the then opposition Jamaica Labour Party, led by the current Prime Minister Andrew Holness, which described the government action as a raid of the NHT funds. We believe that the matters as fundamental as these, that is the property rights of Jamaicans, the status of the NHT and the scope of the property rights under the Constitution deserve ventilation before the courts. Only said after the amendment to the NHT Act was passed in Parliament. However, in announcing that NHT would pay over the 45.6 billion to the government, Chairman of the NHT at the time, Easton Douglas, insisted that the Public Bodies Management and Accountability Act and the amendment enacted in 2011 give the Finance Minister the authority to seek from any public body an amount drawn from the surpluses, deferred earnings, or profits. Pagan attorney are, however, contending that even with the amendment, the provisions of the Public Bodies Management and Accountability Act do not apply to the NHT Act. If the provisions of the Public Bodies Management and Accountability Act and the amendment thereunder were intended by the Parliament to apply to the statute creating the second defendant, NHT, those provisions would conflict with the provisions contained in Section 15, subsection 1, subsection A of the Charter of Rights and Fundamental Freedoms. St. James businessman argued. Take that away. Now, so as what we have where we have seen persons, right, particularly with the Jamaica Labour Party at the time, right, in 2016, when Pusha Simpson used, right, the NHT funds for budgetary support. Budgetary support. Daniel Taylor, the JLP capitalist government is notoriously known to sabotage Jamaica and people who doesn't believe in their wicked system. And it's proven fact for years and decades since Alexander Bustamante. So true, Daniel, so true. Now, look at this now, people. Now, just imagine that the People's National Party, right, went into, right, the NHT fund, right, and take a portion of it to support the budget. Now look what the JLP had done. It's totally corrupted, and yet they were accusing the People's National Party of going into the NHT, right, and take away money from the NHT. Look what the Jamaica Labour Party had done. I just want people to witness that. Let us go into this. NHT comes clean on this show.
Okay.
Look, people. Look what the JLP government had done.
There we go.
Okay. The NHT comes clean on non-disclosure pact with Dexim Holdings. Now, let us read. The National Housing Trust, NHT, has released a settlement agreement that confirms a non-disclosure clause that barred discussions on the terms of the contract over a failed multi-billion-dollar deal with private developer Dexim Holdings. So, people, the first thing what Andrew Holness do, the first thing what Andrew Holness and Nigel Clark had done, right, is to bar the information so that people cannot understand what happened right here, right? The National Housing Trust has released a settlement agreement that confirms a non-disclosure clause that bar discussion on the terms of the contract over a failed multi-billion-dollar deal with private developer Dexim Holdings. So this is what Nigel Clark and Andrew Holness did, right? Because they don't want people to know about the corruption, what they had done. Take out the NHT money and gave it to their friend. Now watch this, people. The parties agreed to maintain in confidence the content, terms and conditions, and the consideration for this settlement agreement, noted the document, which is dated November 29, 2023, which the trust released on Friday following a gleaner access to information request submitted earlier that day. Now, it added each party agrees to take every reasonable precaution to prevent disclosure to third parties, and each agrees that there will be no publicity, directly or indirectly. You see, whenever Andrew Holness and Nigel Clark want to do their corruption, the first thing that them do is to muzzle, right? Muzzle people mouth concerning the settlement agreement, the discussion of the parties at mediation, or the matters in relation to the claim or the GPP, Guaranteed Purchase Program. The NHT, a state residential home builder, has faced public backlash after Sunday Gleaner revealed that it signed a settlement deal with a secrecy clause. Which secrecy clause? You use taxpayers' money. Just imagine this government using taxpayers' money, and taxpayers cannot have no form of transparency in terms of how their money used. Just imagine the people, right? The millions of people who are putting their money into NHT, right, must not know how Andrew Holness and Nigel Clark take out their money and give to their friend Dexim, blocking the public entity from telling its contributors about the matter. So then the NHT contributors, right, must not know anything. The ultimate corruption of this government so toxic that you dip in the NHT pool, take out millions of dollars, give it to your friend, and have confidential clause so that the contributors are not to be informed as to why you take out their money and do. The Sunday Gleaner obtained a copy of the agreement and published the details on January 28. Those reports have now been confirmed. The NHT downplayed the significance of the non-disclosure clause and indicated on January 30 that the agreement was filed in court on January 15 and could be accessed there. Could not be released. However, on February 2, the Court Administration Division told the Gleaner that it could not release the settlement because of the non-disclosure clause. In that statement, the Gleaner sought a response from the NHT, which was provided on Thursday. It said its understanding was that once filed, the document would have been available for disclosure by the court. There was no intention to hide the terms of the settlement as from the inception. Yes, there were every intention to hide it. The agreement provided for the material terms to be entered as a part of the court order, which would then be available upon filing, said the agency. I said, given CAT position, members of the public are reminded that they may make a request to the NHT using the Access to Information Act, which is the legislative course for the release of official documents. Why don't make it so difficult? You understand, in terms of you just coming out and tell the people, you understand the truth. You understand? We want transparency and balance. Take away that document. Right? We want transparency. Right? The JLP was open, all of us are done. Exactly. We want transparency in terms of what you take out the contributors' money and give it to your friend Dexim. That's what you had done. Right? The viciousness. Now, Dexim got over 600 million from the NHT, right? Where at the time when the NHT had given him the money, right, the NHT could have used it and get back interest. You understand? And the money on behalf of the donors. But Andrew wanted to take it to give his friend. So his friend utilized it for a time, get the interest on it, you understand? And also, you understand, build other homes, right? And did not hand them over to the NHT and then gave back the NHT the money without interest. People want to see the viciousness. What Andrew Holness do? Andrew Holness and Nigel Clark take the NHT money, a whole piece load of it, gave it to their friends, right? Their friends take it and bank it, get interest on it. You understand? And build homes, right? Which part totally out of the regulation of NHT. And I know NHT has not gotten one ounce from Dexim. And Dexim have the NHT money. You understand? Utilize interest on it. You understand? In the benefit of himself. And yet, using Dexim, you know, they know that Dexim have other corrupted charges as it relates to other country. And they know it. They know that Dexim, right, have situations with other country. That other country bar them. But yet, Andrew Wallace and Nigel Clark use Dexim, take out the people their money. But not only that them do. We're going to tell you some more what Andrew Wallace and Nigel Clark done. Exactly so. All right. Now look at these people. Look at the worthlessness. All right, let us find this one here. Okay. Look at the next worthlessness of what this Jamaica Labour Party government had done. Just want people to see it. You know. No.
This one.
Yes.
Just ensure that it's been shared because apparently there is a server problem going on with
YouTube.
YouTube keep saying server error here.
Okay, so let me say this, people. No matter what a corrupted government does to avoid us from speaking out, we will never ever speak out. Whether YouTube server want to work, yes or no, we are speaking out. And we are not going to stop speaking out. So no matter all the fandangles that you want to do, will never stop us. NHF, NHT, among public bodies, people who want to see the level of wickedness. What Andrew Holness, I call him, and Nigel Clark, because NHT under the control now of the Prime Minister. So when we hear Juliet Holness, Andrew Holness, enough, he really enough. He wants to be in everything. You understand? And micromanage every situation, so there is no corruption. Yes, and Andrew Holness don't know about it. 19 agencies, right? And so then he's spreading wing so wide so that any corruption going on, Andrew Holness know about the corruption. But we serve you on the Integrity Commission, you know, and your statutory declaration, you know. I don't know how you're going to manage with that. Now, NHT among public bodies with funds invested in scandal, it's SSL. Look what Andrew Holness now. Andrew Holness and Nigel Clark take out the NHT money and look how they put it in the Ponzi scheme. They know the SSL a Ponzi scheme, you know. They know that SSL is a Ponzi scheme. And Andrew Holness and Nigel Clark take out the NHT money, take out the pension money, right? And put it in SSL. Now, several public bodies have significant sums invested at the fraud, hit stocks, and security limited SSL. Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark has revealed you are a wicked somebody, right? You're wicked, the level of wickedness, you, Nigel Clark. Clark made the revelation Monday during a press conference to addressing the unfolding fraud at the investment firm, which has affected dozens of investors, including national icon Usain Bolt, whose account has reportedly been fleeced 12.75 million or approximately 2 billion Jamaican dollars. We say have no respect. United Clark and Andrew Holness have no respect. Down to the icon you disrespect. Down to the icon, right? You no disrespect. And we're not talking about Every ghetto youth is a star. Now you see one of the ghetto youth is a star and who hold him, who take away. Take away. Take away the money from the man. You understand? And now your friend cannot be questioned by any of the investigators. You know, this is how wickedness that. This is how wicked. And when people run out and I can talk about Andrew Holness is the best government. Master, a liquid excretion coming from your mouth. Liquid excretion. So you make me read over this and make you see. You understand what happened to NHT money and pension money. Clark made the revelation Monday during a press conference to address the unfolding fraud at the investment firm, which has affected dozens of investors, including national icon Usain Bolt, whose account has reportedly been freezed of $12.75 million, or approximately $2 billion. The massive multi-billion fraud is the biggest in the last 2 decades and perhaps the largest in Jamaica history. You know, hear that, people? FinSec 2.0. FinSec 2.0. So Nigel Clark, why you not reveal the FinSec report? Why you not reveal the FinSec report? And show say Edward Philip George Siaga got $31 million from out of the banking system and say him forgot. We can release the report. Release the report. And then you have the audacity to talk about PNP cards FinSec. After Omar Davis, Depauno, and I beg someone to care about the people and money. You know, wicked. So you do that with FinSec, and you come on and do the same thing with SSL. Right? You toxic, you leave the Jamaican people alone. So while you know they are prepare for general election, right? You must prepare on yourself to go general penitentiary. Clark, in response to the question from reporters, shared that the National Health Fund has a balance of approximately $740 million. The National Housing Trust has a balance of $238 million. The National Insurance Fund, right, has a balance of 8.4 million. The Jamaica Agricultural Society has a balance of just 9 million. And the Jamaica Banana Industry Catastrophe Fund has a balance of 98. You may tell us no wicked plus tax. This is the information that has been provided to me by the temporary manager of SSL. Clark said, people no look no man, look for the wickedness when Nigel Clark and Holness do with NHT money. Look much people affected. But we go back over it and show them much people affected what them wicked people here. And people are talking about Andrew Holness as the best prime minister. Let me show you this. Clark, in response to questions from reporters, here that the National Health Fund has a balance of approximately $740 million. The National Housing Trust has a balance of $238 million. The National Insurance Fund has a balance of $8.4 million. The Jamaica Agricultural Society has a balance of just under $9 million. And the Jamaica Banana Industry Catastrophe Fund has a balance of 98. Hey, look here. No other prime minister in the history of Jamaica has ever done this. This is a national crisis. No other prime minister in the Caribbean or nowhere has done them a level of wickedness here. This is wicked beyond the extreme. This is the information that has been provided to me by the temporary manager of SSL, Clark said. Wicked. You, Clark. SSL is the second oldest brokerage firm in Jamaica with more than 9,000 accounts. All of this way you tell. Right, that's why you tell another lie. SSL is the second oldest brokerage firm in Jamaica with more than 9,000 accounts. All of this a lie you tell yourself. Because SSL is not the second oldest broker. SSL is a Ponzi scheme that you and your friend them rise it back. Right? It was Paul Chen Young company that handed over to you, Croskerry, Richard, you When you use it as a Ponzi scheme and rob the Jamaican people. That's what you did. Right? The security dealer has approximately 300 accounts under private wealth management. Wicked and we just still told them here. Still told them here. Wicked. Cruel. Cruel to the Jamaican people. Right? Take that away. Talk about the level of wickedness. The level of cruelty. Right? The level of cruelty that they, right, had done to the Jamaican people. I want to know if, let us shape our consciousness and try to understand what Nigel Clark and Andrew Holness did with FFL. And now Clark completing the report, people. Yeah, let me deal with them. Let me deal with them. Clark completing the report. And they don't want the Jamaican people to know the evil that take place. Noel Williams. And remember, Sir Byron, what he had said to Sister P, that she wanted to milk the fat cow, and yet can't you take the fat cow money and put it into SSL, Noel? And the thing will beat me and make Noel think I'm still there for your time, make the people can make men that can sink in. Huh? Portia Simpson. Just looking at people that will give you the history, because I have the history, I say, no, it's facts. Anyone who want to jump and come challenge me, come and challenge me. Right? Bruce Golan, between the period 2007 to 2011. What Bruce Golan did with the economy? Bruce Golan damaged the economy. Bruce Golan privatized everything that he can privatize. Right? Bruce Golan shattered the relationship with IMF. Remember, prior to that, what PJ Patterson handed over to Bruce Golan. So let me teach people, you understand the relay of good economics. So when we hear some idiot to talk about 18 years, what you do, and blah, 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 we're going to show them. We're going to teach them tonight. Tonight, we're going to teach them. When PJ Patterson handed over the economy to Bruce Golan, Jamaica was free from the IMF. Go and do your research. For all done said, right? That out there talking up their mouth. You understand? Go and do your research. When PJ handed over the economy to Bruce, right? We were free from the IMF. When Bruce Golan came in, Bruce Golan, one of the first things that he started to do is to privatize everything, our airport, our sugar industry, and all of those assets that Jamaica own. Bruce Golan find it's time to do all the devastation. Put back Jamaica on the back of its leg. Put back Jamaica on the back of its leg. That Bruce Golan and the IMF fall out, people. You need to read your history. So we don't come up and run up and I talk about 18 years, what I'm doing, blah, blah, blah. We going to tell you. You understand? So when Bruce Golan damaged the economy, right? Damaged the relationship with the IMF. Because he go into the IMF, right? The IMF loaned him the money, right? And IMF set austerity measures for Bruce Golan. And what the IMF found out that Bruce Golan wasn't in accordance as it relates to the austerity measure. And so then Bruce Golan and the IMF fall out. So let me teach you history. Let me teach you the history tonight. Bruce Golan and the IMF fall out. Bad relationship. So what PJ Patterson, what Portia Simpson did when Portia Simpson took over. Remember, it is Bruce Golan's careless behavior as it relates to issues between Jamaica and the United States as it relates to extradition process for Dudus that caused pressure and Bruce Golding to resign because of information that was communicated to Bruce Golding as it relates to United States, right, intelligence, and Bruce Golding passed it on, right, to the criminal. Who does that? Who does that as a prime minister? Who does that? Who does that as a prime minister? It goes to show you the control of how the gang hold and Bruce Golding. The CIA spoke it. The CIA said, right, the gang facilitate Bruce Golding's success into power. And so then Bruce Golding had to pay back. And so then when United States pressure Bruce Golding for the dose, right, Bruce Golding communicated, you understand, the information back to the dose. What you doing? Seeking relationship. Good relationship with what? With criminal organization. Come on. Right? And so then that shattered certain relationship. That year, what people need to understand, that on the corruption index, it is the first time in history that we had hit the lowest on the corruption index. So let me teach people, right, the political history. The first time we hit the lowest on the corruption index as a result of Bruce Golding government. So go back on the corruption index. Let me teach you, right, Jenny? And Bruce mash up the economy. Now Andrew demolish it. Thank you, Jenny. So let me teach you history. So when Bruce Golding done that, right, Portia Simpson get a damaged horse to carry up a very high hill. A lame horse, which is the economy, to carry up at a very high hill. And what Portia Simpson and Peter Phillips had done. Portia Simpson and Peter Phillips has to build back the relationship, right, with IMF, because IMF had written us off. Remember, people, go back and do your history. Google search engine is there, and I'm going to teach history tonight. Right? Bruce Golding, right? The IMF written us off. Portia Simpson and Peter Phillips have to be there, right? Cutting up to the IMF, right? Kissing the IMF arse, right? And so then the IMF now have to set now some austerity measures, right, for Portia Simpson and Peter Phillips. And so then one of the austerity measures was for Portia Simpson now to definitely, right, have a wage freeze. Certain social programs have to cut because the economy was so bad, and Portia Simpson has the responsibility to fix back the economy, and that's why Portia Simpson ought to be respected. Because what Portia Simpson had done, right, was to fix back the economy. That's the IMF and other international bodies were surprised as it relates to the comeback of Jamaica. And so then, while Jamaica was coming back, it was the Jamaica Labour Party critiquing them and talking about, okay, all right, it is not about passing IMF tests and blah, blah, blah. It's about building the economy and blah, blah, and they hope against with the critics and the propaganda. It is not about passing IMF. It is about building the economy and blah, blah, blah. After them damage the economy, you know. After them damage the economy, you know. But what the IMF said, go away. Go away and from tell lies and your propaganda. Go away. Remember the IMF said, it is lie that you are telling. The Portia Simpson led government passed all austerity measures. Remember over there, you know, we know history, you know. So you can't fool me and come around and say, you know. You understand? We are manlyites. And we are well learned, well educated. So you can't come fool nobody around here, sir. We have the history in our brain. And we have the history on Google. You understand? So everything that I'm speaking out of my mouth, we can support it. And so then it was one of the moves why Portia, right, Simpson has to go now as it relates to the IMF. So I want people to understand why Portia Simpson has to go into the IMF. Portia Simpson has to go into the NHT funds. That was the reason. That was one of the reasons, yes, why Portia Simpson has to go into the NHT funds and when to balance the budget, because the budget needs to be balanced, right? We have to stay on fiscal discipline, right? And we have to make sure, you understand, that we stay parallel with those austerity measures, right? So Portia Simpson had a very difficult task, you understand, to climb like a Blue Mountain, 7,402 feet above sea level. That's what Portia Simpson has to climb to fix this economy. And so, right, it was a surprise throughout the entire world in terms of how Portia Simpson bounced back the economy, right? International bodies were talking about it and talking about how people need to take example from out of the administrative skills and level of Portia Simpson-led government. So I'm teaching you tonight. So watch this now, people. So now, this is the reason why Portia Simpson has to go in to the NHT, right, and borrow that money to balance the budget, right? Justifiably so. Now, you tell me what Andrew Holness done now. Andrew Holness led government. What do you think they do, right? Was there any reason? Was there any reason, right, to give SSL, NHT money, and all those entity monies put into SSL? Was there any reason for you to do that? Right? Andrew Holness led government, right? Was the government placed under certain austerity measures? You tell me, right? You, Andrew Holness, right? You, Nigel Clark, right? And you, Croskery, design a strategy to reformulate FinSA 2.0, which is SSL. So I want people to understand, what is SSL? SSL is FinSA 2.0. Right? Soraya Ayers, good night, Mystic Sensation and the crew. Every time the JLP administration, the JLP Jamaica Deception Party, the country always suffers, and this is no lie. This is no lie. Right? So then this is what we are talking about in terms of defending our position of truthfulness and facts. Right? And so then, regardless of the mouth talk out there and people talking about, you understand, okay, all right, the two parties are the same. And persons who are building third-party narrative, you understand, I don't endorse that. Because really and truly, well, in this situation, to be honest, let me say, people, to be honest, believe you me, people, I will accept a third party over JLP. Jamaica Labour Party must finally come out of our political process. They are a virus. So I will accept a third party. I will accept a third party, right? A third party for opposition. What needs to be done to the Jamaica Labour Party is a message, right? They need to be all voted out. All voted out. Am I coming here to say that People's National Party don't have any corruption? No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. Right? I would be a hypocrite, right, if I say that the People's National Party has no corruption. We all know that the People's National Party has corruption. But what level of corruption are you talking about? What level of corruption are you talking about? The level of corruption in the Jamaica Labour Party is unbelievable. It is unbelievable. And so for people, let me say this now. For people who might not want to talk, no, if you talk about Trafigura, right? Trafigura wasn't a crime. And you blaming PNP about Trafigura, spreading propaganda about Trafigura. Trafigura wasn't a crime. Trafigura wasn't a crime. Right? And so then when you have FinSAC spreading propaganda, right? FinSAC, caused by who? Who triggered FinSAC? When I go into the CIA file, when I go into WikiLeaks file, who caused FinSAC? Right? Then Edward Phillips Siaga. Right? Where people just take up people money, give it to them friend, give it to them family. You understand? Those are people money. Those are people money. And what you do with people money? You take the people money, you buy up assets. This is the same thing you're doing at SSL. This same thing you're doing at SSL. Have SSL investors invest their money. Right? Invest their money, you know. And you take the people money, put it in all sort of things, buy up this, buy up that, buy up this, buy up that. You understand? And rob the people them out of their money. Very same thing that you have done in FinSAC. Right? We must send the GLP into a political wilderness. Remember me tell you. Big up yourself, Jenny. Right? And this is what happened as it relates to the level of cruelty. The level of cruelty coming from Andrew Holness-led government. Right? Andrew Holness spoke on Cliff Hughes program, how he came into the politics with $47 million. Where you get it from? 1997, you came into the politics with $47 million. Where you get it from, Andrew? Where you get it from? Right? While Juliet Holness, you understand, talking about the wedding and that they married in 1997 and they have the money. The plain inconsistency. The plain inconsistency. So where you get the money? Right? Now you have the Integrity Commission looking on you, Andrew, the Prime Minister, wanting to run for a third term. Look on you too. With 6 of you come along them. Right? And believe you me, people, I don't know how the Integrity Commission only have 6. It is more than 6. Right? Akibula, yes, it must come tell us exactly. Right? The Prime Minister owed us the truth. To come with the truth and conciliation that needs to be done with the Jamaica Labour Party government. You are there preparing for general election. How dare you want to force on yourself on the people, right? Without you not wanting to explain, right, your wealth, right? Telling people that you are $160 million when you are in the billions of dollars. We know we are not stupid. Right? Where did you get the money? Where did you get the money? Right? So many of you members of parliament, right, having companies, doing all sorts of bang around, right? And we Jamaica know, right, that you are now in dire straits because the KSMAC now, under the control of the People's National Party, is going to make matters worse for you. Andrew, it is going to make matters worse for you. But we are here on social media, right? Every day, watching, reporting, investigating, researching, right? No, you can come on any of our platform. Just imagine, Prime Minister, that you have your name running out there in all sort of bangarang. And then you as a Prime Minister, if you were innocent, I am saying that, why you don't come and clear your name? right? Tell us how much money you put in SSL. SSL wasn't doing any real investment. So then on your profile account, how could you accrue return on investment? Mr. Sensation is asking you that. If SSL wasn't operating legal, was literally stealing people's money, right, from 2012 that they were flagged for and you see, it is the FSC flagged them, you know. The FSC flagged them, you know, for misappropriation of client money. What you were flagged for, SSL? What you were flagged for? Misappropriation of client money. So you were physically stealing the people's money. So then if you were physically stealing the people's money and you weren't investing the people's money, then you tell me how Andrew Owner's profile account accrued any return on investment. Come talk to me. Come and talk to me. How can that happen? Eh? You're working miracle, Andrew. You're working miracle. The way all your wealth has risen, right, beyond the billions, into such a short space of time, no other business person in Jamaica ever has done that. Why is this different from you? During the COVID-19 period, 2019 to 2020, your business, as according to you, generating profit, right? Every other entity being affected, Andrew Holness business generating profit, right? You use SSL as one of your source of income. That's where you're wrong. And this is all now the Integrity Commission now have you on the nozzle. Because you have spoken that, yes, you got your money, you have your wealth as a result of loans, right? As a result of return on investment. But SSL wasn't doing any legitimate business. So how you get your return on investment? This is why you're now in a dilemma. So come talk to us, Andrew. You have much to say and much to speak about, right? Daniel Taylor, there is saying goes that a promise is a comfort to a fool, and that's why Andrew Owens keeps on promising the Jamaican people, because he takes them for a bunch of fools. Enough of them are fools, right? Enough of them are fool. Now let us get into the last few clips, and before we do that, let us show, right, Jamaica as it relates to the future Prime Minister of Jamaica, and listen in, right, to some of his policies that Mark Golden has been spoken about. His wealth started in the Ministry of Education. Yes, Errol, you're right. That's where it started. Now, let us play Golden.
Okay.
Let us listen to somebody who has integrity. Let us listen to somebody who has morals.
Oh, that's a video. Okay.
All right. So let us listen to somebody who has integrity.
We will revitalize the Peace Management Initiative. Through the Peace Management Initiative, we want to build a network in all of the violence-prone communities across the country, rolling out restorative justice, mediation, and other conflict resolution techniques at the community level. We will train and empower at least 500 violence interrupters across Jamaica. We'll partner with the private sector and other stakeholders to expand Project STAR, which they have initiated, and make it into a truly national program, including things like access to training, mentorship, remedial education, and job placements for youth at risk. We will enact legislation that targets known vicious purveyors of criminal violence across Jamaica and brings them to justice, including through a court-supervised process of pre-charge detention that targets persons on whom there's credible intelligence to facilitate building viable cases that can result in a successful prosecution. Due process is critical here, and that is why it must be a court-supervised process. And Mr. Speaker, we will bring much greater focus on reforming the prison system to reduce the high level of recidivism. In other words, people who offend are imprisoned. When they're released, they offend again and come back into prison. That is recidivism. We need to reduce the high level of recidivism, which is very high in Jamaica, some 40%, I believe, by rehabilitating offenders to become productive citizens rather than reoffenders. When they return to society, every Jamaican has an interest in a prison system that rehabilitates prisoners and makes them productive citizens. We're fooling ourselves if we think that we can just ignore that, let the prisons run in the way they currently run, and solve our national security problem. We will provide the police force with the vehicles, equipment, and training that they need to efficiently respond and investigate and prosecute offenders. We will build out the Jamaica Eye system of cameras to enhance citizen security and ensure greater accountability for criminal behavior. It is an important part of making Jamaica safe. And we will provide mental health support, including adequate rest to our law enforcement officers to help them cope with the difficulties of their line of work here in Jamaica. And we will partner with non-governmental organizations to support well-designed and sustainable community-based interventions that focus on anger management, parenting skills, conflict resolution, and overall civility, and substantially increase the number of social workers to take on these critical tasks and build social cohesion within communities.
All right. So let us go into different venue now. We are going to show the usual strategy of the Jamaica Labour Party executing their wickedness. So we are going to touch on the water crisis. We had touched it last week, but we are going to touch it again. So then let us get into the crisis that is happening. And I'm glad, let me say this, I'm glad that some people start to receive water back into the area of Westmoreland, right? And we know how the things work with Jamaica Labour Party. And we are going to speak out tonight where that is concerned. So without any further ado, let us play. Yeah. All right, so that clip is coming up.
Can't get it.
Yes, so we're going to just continue to show, the sabotaging strategy that the Jamaica Labour Party has been using. And they have been using it from at least in the 1970s, as they relate to sabotaging people, to get their votes. This is the method of the Jamaica Labour Party. So, you have the clip?
Hold on, just continue talking. I'm trying to get which one it is.
It is.
Yes, Baron, but I have to.
Okay, so the method that the Jamaica Labour Party been using for years, the sabotaging method, and so then we see the very same thing is happening in Westmoreland. And one of the reasons why, right, Jamaica Labour Party executed that is to the fact that, right, in those areas, the people vote them out. The people vote them out. And so then what you see is like you have there is what you call a controlled drought, right? Those areas that are PNP areas, right, they're making sure that those areas not getting adequate water. You have anything? Yes, please.
I'm on Bevan Avenue in Montego Bay at the NWC office in St. James. This is the graveyard for the billions of dollars that we have spent on buying these trucks.
Economy coming like stormy weather. Ancestors are turning on them grave. We can champion, we can do it together.
I'm here in St. James, and I just want to bring attention to Jamaica. I just want to bring some things to your attention as the shadow spokesperson on water. In 2015, we had one of the worst droughts in Negril. I dispatched over 20 trucks myself and Bobby Pickersgill, senior minister at the time. When the JLP government came in power in 2016, they dismantled the Rapid Response Unit. The unit had 39 trucks that we spent billions of dollars for in ensuring that nobody price gouge you and charge you extra money to truck water, and the government will have the capacity to truck the water to you at no cost to you, and nobody can overcharge you. Look behind you. Acres of trucks parked since 2016. JLP government dismantled. I can tell you this is the only plan the government have. Just like how they don't have any plan for crime, they don't have a plan for crime, they don't have one for water. The only plan they have is to pray like the rest of us that God Almighty give us some water for the soul. This is sad. This is a sad day in the history of this country. To come here and to see all of these trucks being rotten to the ground after we, you the taxpayer, spend billions of dollars on them to repair them and to put them on the road.
Now, people, as a result of Ian Hales, right, who came out, right, and highlight the corruption, highlighted the wickedness. You see, Mr. Samuda went into Parliament and continued his lies, but I am going to match him up tonight. I am going to crush him tonight. Now, so let us play that clip to hear him telling his lies into look, this is the Jamaica Labour Party, right? Every word, most of the times that come out of their mouth, lie, pure lie, propaganda. So it's this, and I'm going to fix him business. Right. You just put it up.
Oh, that one you want? Okay.
Yes, that's the one.
Okay.
All right, so that clip is coming.
Western Water, the North Coast Water Supply Improvement Scheme that we are working on. In Great River serves a lot of Western St. James because majority of your water coming from Martha Brae is like pouring water into a grater. It just pours up. That line is significantly degraded. It is also not the size that you require for a growing St. James. It is why later this year we will start construction to put in a 36-inch ductile iron main from the Martha Brae into St. James, reducing pressure in Western St. James from the systems that are in Hanover, which also support St. James. We will also upgrade the Terminal Reservoir and the Appleton Hall Reservoir in St. James, which will take the pressure off of the Great River system. But Mr. President, we are also doing the engineering assessments and drawings now for the Great River upgrade system because that treatment plant is particularly old. We're also doing the scoping for the Flint River Reservoir. We've also looked very carefully at what is required. And the first major investment on the treatment capacity will be on the Roaring River plant. And we're also doing the Hartford tank to upgrade it to a 1.5 million gallon system. And we're looking at the Westland Mountains tank, etc. But Mr. President, the major line that goes into the grill comes from about Rossies. That line is 9 inches and leaks profusely. There is no way 9 inches of pipe can carry the volume of water that you require in that part of the country. So we will upgrade that line to a 24-inch ductile iron pipe. That project will be grouped this year. We're breaking ground this year. Okay, we're in the final stages of what we're working on with that. That'll happen this year. Now, those 2 pipelines will be $70 million investment into the people of Westmoreland and Hanover and St. James. It will take 2 years of construction because ultimately those pipes aren't also on a shelf. So you order the pipes and then they come in, but you have to do some of the engineering work. But this is the largest investment into Western water resilience in a very, very long time.
Okay.
All right. So, Jamaican people, let me tell you something. Right? And this is how you catch Jamaica Labour Party in their line. Now, what Samuda is talking about, right, was a similar promise that Andrew had made. Similar promise that Andrew Holness has made. And so then I am going to play to the people to show the similar promise that Andrew Holness had made. So all of what Matthew is saying, nothing is going to be fulfilled. Nothing is going to be fulfilled. And they continue to lie, continue to promise that they can't deliver. And let me show you that Andrew Holness had made similar promise. So put up that document. Yeah. So people, I want you to see the date. I want you to see the date. Right? Here it is, people. Extract water from Royal Cobra to East Crisis, says Holness, August 18, 2015. Now, people, let me show you something. These people, they're a set of liars. They are not giving no service to us. So Matthew Samuda now is coming off the promising line of Andrew Holness in August 18, 2015. Now I'm going to read it and you're going to see how it sounds similar like what Samuda is saying. Here it is. August 18, 2015. Extract water from Royal Cobra to ease crisis, says Holness. Opposition leader Andrew Holness says that in light of the severe drought facing Jamaica, the government should move expeditiously to extract a minimum of 15 million gallons of water from the Royal Cobra River and pump it into the content irrigation and water treatment system. Holness says, while this would not solve the water problem, it would certainly ease the situation in the corporate area, saying the government can and should do much more to address the island's water woes. He might criticize the government now, you know. He's criticizing the government, just like Samuda is speaking in the rural areas as it relates to Great River, Hanover, and Westmoreland. This is what Andrew is saying as it relates to the corporate area. Now, Holness, who was speaking yesterday afternoon as he distributed tanks and water in his constituency, said communities such as Roden Crescent, Waltham Park, Seaview Gardens, Olympic Gardens, Favorite Gardens, Seaward Drive, Drewsland, and Waterhouse are very badly affected by the drought, and many of the residents cannot afford to have water trucked to them. Through setting up tanks at strategic locations in constituency and having water trucked in on a regular basis, Holness said he hoped to provide at least some relief to residents. The opposition leader said greater investment is needed to get water from where it is to where it needs to be, as the population in certain areas has outgrown the system already in place, and new communities are emerging where no provisions have been made for water. So look at our people. Andrew Holness know all of this. Andrew Holness start all of this in the corporate era. Now Andrew Holness in power for 8 years. For 8 years. Knowing about the water crisis and drought as what he called it. And what Andrew Holness done for 8 years. Nothing. But now shoving out Matthew Samuda become promised the very same thing. Now, former Minister of Water, Environment and Housing and Jamaica Labour Party General Secretary Dr. Horace Chang, who also spoke at the function, said under the GLP Sustainable Water Sources, this is what Chang said now, under the GLP Sustainable Water Sources, which would supply water to communities throughout Jamaica, Chang said that, had been identified in all 14 parishes. Chang said that. Dr. Chang said the GLP applied to the Office of Utilities Regulation and was successful in the implementation of the K factor, which he said could be used to put in place water programs, and call on the government to provide an explanation as to what happened to those funds. Dr. Chang said that in order for the country to achieve growth, there must be a reliable supply of water and efficient sewage treatment system for urban centers. People, remember, read back over what Chang said. So we want to know who in the government now. People, I could talk. I could talk about the thing then. Hear what Dr. Chang said so. Dr. Chang said the GLP applied to the Office of Utilities Regulation and was successful in the implementation of the K factor, which he said could be used to put in place water programs, and call on the government to provide an explanation as to what happened to those funds. Dr. Chang said that in order for the country to achieve growth, there must be a reliable supply of water and efficient sewage treatment system for urban centers. Now, so now, let me ask you, Dr. Chang, your government, your Prime Minister Andrew Holness, you know in our government, Dr. Chang, you talk strong when you're in opposition now. You in a government now, Dr. Chang. You don't realize that for Jamaica to have growth, right? You need to have a reliable supply of water and efficient sewage treatment system. You don't realize that now. You in a government now, you know. You in a government now. Right? So Peter was short, yeah, criticize. You understand the opposition? No, you in a government now. No. Just look at that, people. Let us take that away. And here you are. Here you are. So from that criticism, what the PNP had done, PNP had taken the criticism, right? And decide to engineer Operation Pride, buying X amount of trucks, right? So that people can be facilitated in at that time, right? X amount of trucks, right? A selling program that carrying water to people at no cost. At no cost. Now remember, I read it out to the people that when you and Andrew Holness were in the opposition, the criticism that you have given to the People's National Party, now you in a power. And one of the first things what Andrew Holness do is crash the program. Crash the program that now those trucks that used to carry water, we see a lot of those trucks dump up. Right, remember that? Ian Hales showed us the photo, right, of all those trucks, right, being parked up. All those trucks wreck the program. Because what? People who are in the Jamaica Labour Party now have trucks. And so they now can now corrupt the system. Yes. What trucks? So they now can now corrupt the system. right? And so then when you look at this government, this is the government saying that they care for people, right? And here it is. You have Westmoreland under crisis and what appears in some era as it relates to control drought. But that simply means that the Jamaica Labour Party engineering that drought as a result of sabotage to the fact that those people voted them out. So the people needs to be punished like how you punish them in the 70s. You understand? People need to be punished, right? And so then you see the level of dictatorship, the level of abuse that this government, you understand, is doing to the Jamaican people. Because people don't have the right, you understand, to vote for who they want to vote for. And if they vote against you, they are to be punished. They are to be disciplined. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? And yet, you on your pulpit, on your public platform, that when people go low, you go high. Can you imagine the Nancy story? You understand? You're a diabolical liar, right? And so then we need to send you a message that I am telling the 63% of persons who didn't vote to make sure that we prepare this time, right? That we are going to go out there and we are going to vote. So, yes, folks, that was my last clip. You know that on a Tuesday, we are a little bit coming short because it is not our hit night. Our hit night is on Friday. And Friday we will be coming out blazing, right? And so then this is where, of course, we are going to close tonight's show. For anyone who want to call and interact for a while, we can do so. So I will just allow for people to call in. And if not, then, of course, we are going to say until Friday, we meet again. Anyone calling?
Interesting. Okay, guys, again, happy Tuesday. Thank you so much for tuning in. Really appreciate everyone who joined in. As you realize, we had some technical difficulties there from YT, and it's still happening a bit because I'm having difficulty with the chat, with typing in. It's very delayed and it's doing all sorts of funky stuff.
So there are still some server issues there.
It's not still.
All right. So,
just going on.
guys, Friday, we are going to run out hard, right? Because, of course, we have some information that, we're coming out with on Friday. So, we make, our Friday night, you understand, more punching. All right. So, see you on Friday, right? Bless up yourself.
Okay, guys. So good night, and remember to support the One Jamaica Legal Defense Fund. Every little make a motto. So make sure you go over to Ratigan page or you go on the website and make a donation, whatever little that you can.
All right. Yes, right? Bless up.
Bless up.
Yes, RF1, blessings. All right. Good night, everyone. Blessings.
Good night. Thank you guys so much. And safe travel on the gravel until Friday. Bless up. Love each and every one of you.
Remember, Friday we're hot.